Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Good evening, brothers and sisters. Inshallah ta'ala, we're going to jump straight in. Let me make sure I'm rolling. Make sure I'm rolling and cooking with grease. You know what I mean? Okay, welcome to Friday Night Fiqh. Again, inshallah ta'ala, we're going to jump straight in. I know y'all got stuff to do on y'all's weekend. I most definitely have stuff to do on my weekend. Um, I got work, as y'all should know. But last weekend when we did Friday Night Fiqh, I was working late. And I didn't get an opportunity. I just didn't want to go, leave y'all hanging. And so I did the video in the car. It was kind of like shooting from the hip. So I did the video in the car from the job on my way back home from the job site to the grocery store. So I forgot something. So I went straight to the Nisfu Tahara, the section of Tahara. And I skipped the section. I skipped the ending of the introduction, which is a very integral part of Fiqhul-Akhdari. So we're going to go back and cover that. And then inshallah ta'ala, we'll pick up from the section of Tahara next week. Inshallah ta'ala. Once again, I need y'all to hit the like button, hit a heart, drop a comment, say salam alaikum, say, hey, your beard is too short, brother, and you need to grow it longer. Say something, drop a comment. And if you're on YouTube, subscribe. This is the people's Ta'aleem. Alhamdulillah. We're going to try to keep everything understandable. I don't want to go too way off in the clouds. A lot of the Ima and the Shuyukh are like way up on the mountain, and they use words and terminologies and sentences that it takes a lot of people years to understand and learn. So right here, at least right now, I see that there's a need for and with the people that, we speak the language of the people. We bring these complex terms down to edible. Dina. The baby wants to be on the camera. Her mom will be mad because her hair is not done. Okay, I gotta do a video. Okay, so be quiet. Okay. Hey, so inshallah ta'ala, we are going to so y'all can like, share, number one, subscribe if y'all watching on YouTube. Alhamdulillah, we got some good things going on this channel. We have an array of other brothers that I'm in contact with that are from different backgrounds in Islam, from different madhabs, all of the different madhabs, the 4 madhabs, and all of the 3 schools of, hey Dina, I'm giving a video, not you. All of the 3 schools of Aqidah. So alhamdulillah, we're trying our best. Alhamdulillah. See you praying. Yeah, alhamdulillah. Get out my computer, bro. So alhamdulillah, we're trying to do some great things on this platform. All of this stuff is free. So we are Dina. Hey, bring it down. Do like Granny say, bring it down. Shh. So we're doing some great things on this platform. Alhamdulillah. It's all free. Yes. It's all free. No, we're not charging people. And alhamdulillah, we have people who who are learned traditionally and are learning traditionally, and that's all we're doing is paying all of this forward, saving a lot of people a lot of times from reading books like this. I asked one of my shuyukh, Sheikh Rami in Seward, I asked him one question, and he sent me this book. He's like, when you get done with it, a book this big. This is all fiqh. This is all fiqh right here. And that's not even like one of the big books. That's not even like one of the big books. That's an explanation, one of the explanations of a smaller fiqh book. So we're trying to save y'all that kind of trouble. Not trouble, but I know everybody don't have, the go to jump in books like that and go, go in. So that's what we're doing. We're condensing all of that kind of stuff and just trying to, put it all where it's supposed to be. Yes, yes, yes. So, inshallah ta'ala, we're going to jump in straight into the text. I'm gonna read the section where we skipped, and I'm gonna try to do it as fast as possible, and we'll open the floor up for questions, comments, and concerns. Support your young Black scholarship. We do not have enough African American students of knowledge or AIMA. This is an individualized effort. Show some respect, show some love. Well, like I always say, we watch reels. Dina, shh. We watch reels. Oh, you want to go at mommy? Say bye. Say bye. Heavy, boy. Woo. So, show some respect, show some love. It does us a lot of. It encourages us, alhamdulillah. And this is the things that we should be doing dhikr with our time, doing dhikr with the internet. It helps me. It's dhikr for me. It's a remembrance for me. It's a reminder for me. It's a reminder for y'all. All I'm basically doing here is studying out loud. That's what I'm doing. So if y'all cooking dinner or you chilling, you driving, whatever, you ain't gotta be looking at my ugly face. You could just have it in your AirPods or your Samsung earbuds, whichever one you got. And that is not a plug because they ain't paying me nothing. So if y'all share this, the brother can get paid, not for the knowledge, but for turning on my computer while I'm talking. Assalamu alaikum, Imam Abu Muhammad. Malika, assalamu alaikum to the chef. He's in the house. The junior in Imam Abu Muhammad's voice. The junior Maliki's in the house. Alhamdulillah. All right, so let's jump in, y'all, so we can get back to our weekend, inshallah ta'ala. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلله فلا هادي له ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له ونشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أما بعد. Okay, so continue on with more obligations. We at first we had stopped at frightening a Muslim without a valid reason. Going forward, Bismillah. It is an obligation upon each responsible adult or responsible person. Excuse me, I should not have said adult. Every mukallaf is not an adult. Every responsible person to protect their eyes from looking at the prohibited. It is not permissible for him to look at a Muslim in a way that harms him or her. This is unless a person is a transgressor, they're fasiq, in which case one must not keep their company. It is also an obligation upon the responsible one to protect his limbs to the best of his ability. What does this mean? Protecting the limbs to the best of your ability. This means that you cannot allow any part of your body, of your being, to be involved in some fisk or something haram. And I do not say that from atop the horse. I do not. I'm a sinner. I am in need of Allah's subhanahu wa ta'ala's guidance and forgiveness. So please, when I sometimes, all the time, I hear the shuyukh, some of the shuyukh and some of the aima and some of the du'at, they sometimes it seems like they're talking as if they're not sinners everything is like, it's like you doing this and y'all are doing that and y'all shouldn't be looking at this woman and y'all shouldn't. It's like from the top down a lot. So I want to clear up that I don't know if anybody else ever picks up on that sometimes or get that vibe sometimes from some of the some of the du'ats that we listen to and the emails of the public speakers and the shuyukh. Sometimes I get that. So I'm not saying that like pointing my finger at somebody, but we should definitely make our best effort. And when I say best effort, I'm talking about you should do anything that you possibly can to make sure that no part of your being be won't be protected from the haram, from the sin, from what's harmful to your soul. For example, if you know somebody stole some shoes and say y'all go to play a game of basketball and you don't have any shoes to play, you got flip-flops on, and somebody who I'm talking about, you've seen this person, or you have knowledge that the person told you that they stole the shoes, and they say, hey man, you can wear those shoes. If you put those shoes on, you have committed a sin. You got the same sin that brother had, or that brother or that sister had that stole those shoes, for example. So you didn't do it yourself. You didn't say it yourself. You didn't touch it with your hand yourself, none of that. But you allowed your body, you allowed your own self to participate in that haram thing. That's what that means. Moving forward, he must love, hate, and be pleased and angry for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What does that mean? Uh, you must love what you know Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and his messenger loves. And you must hate what Allah and subhanahu wa ta'ala and his messenger Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam hated. And you must be pleased, you must, and vice versa. And the same thing with as far as being pleased with and being angered by. How do we accomplish this? You accomplish this by learning what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and his messenger alayhi salatu wasalam loved, and what they hated, what pleased them and what displeased them. You learn what that was. How do you learn that? You learn the sunnah. You sit with your shuyukh. You sit with your a'imah. You ask them questions. Hey, what about this? What about that? And they will tell you a story about some sahabi some sahabi did that they learned from the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam, one of the Prophet's companions, or they'll tell you what the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam himself did, or they'll impart the knowledge from the Quran about what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves and what he hates and what he is displeased with. We must adjust what we think and what we believe according to that. For example, the rainbow folks, and I hope I don't get shadow banned for that. Just because we have this new wave and fad, and Joe Biden said it was okay, and Joe Biden's campaign reaches out to you and says, hey sister, hey brother, we want you to be our representative for the rainbow coalition, and we want to put an Islamic face, and we want to make sure and teach all the people that Muslims are tolerant and they're not like ISIS and all, y'all know the stuff that they be saying. No, we don't do that. This is something that is loathed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and his messenger. So just because society loves the rainbow people and doesn't disapprove of the rainbow coalition and people and so forth, doesn't mean you follow behind them. You follow and set your standard according to what Allah and his messenger said. Don't matter what it is that people love or what the world is doing, you stick and stay stuck on what Allah Ta'ala and his messenger love. That's what that means. Going forward, the responsible one must enjoin righteousness and forbid evil. And then the author goes into some examples of this. things like lying, backbiting, carrying tales, namima. So let's talk about carrying tales. So backbiting, you would be the one that would be saying something that is true or untrue about your brother or sister uh, uh, that they don't like. You would be the one doing that. You would be the one witnessing that, and you would be the one hearing it. You're guilty. The one that is saying it, the one that is allowing somebody to say it to them, and the one who uh, the one who witnessed that conversation doing the backbiting. We underestimate. Now that's backbiting. That's not namima. Namima and backbiting is different. So in namima, the easiest way that I can put it, as far as my knowledge takes me, is that with namima, um, somebody else might say something or do something or whatnot that's backbiting, and then you go and you say, "Hey, you heard about this, and then such did that, and then he did this, and then he was out, and then they went, and then they what? Yeah, man, it's crazy. I don't know why they folks, and you ain't got nothing to do with nothing. You wasn't there. You didn't hear the brother say it. You didn't see the sister say it. No, none of that. You just, somebody, you might have heard somebody else saying it, even though they weren't there, and then here you go done heard that, and now you go and take it, like, man, you heard about Dula, man, dude, yeah, man, Dula, that guy. That's namima. That's haram. We can't do that. And then just think about. It sounds silly, like when you read it in a book like this, you're like, man, don't nobody. And in the streets, we call it pillow talking. Everybody, I mean, ain't nobody pillow talking. Ain't no that's that seemed kind of silly, but if you think about it, look at these new rappers. New rappers are literally dying because of namima. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said don't do it. Rappers are literally dying, killing each other because of namima. One of the rappers who was pretty good, I like the young fella, and he was Muslim. Alhamdulillah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive him of his shortcomings. I mean, King Von. King Von literally died because of namima. Somebody he heard, he didn't see what was said. He didn't see the person saying it. No, none of that. As the story goes, a person said something funny about him or his girlfriend or something like that, and then he came out and said something publicly, and it went viral. And then all of the fans on both sides hyped that man's death up. They hyped him up to get killed. They all did namima. King Von himself did namima, and then all of the fans, tens and thousands of fans, did namima. They all in the comment section. Oh, this rapper said this, and that rapper said that, and in this song, this rapper said this, and then was he talking about you and this? They in the comments, and then they arguing with each other in the comments doing namima. That pressure got put on King Von so much. He like, man, they gonna think I'm a punk. They gonna think I'm a sucker. He just happened to go to a nightclub, which we shouldn't do. This goes back to the beginning of the video, which we said that we ain't gonna allow ourselves to get involved in nothing that's haram. We ain't gonna be next to nothing that's haram. But he was a new shahada. He didn't know. He had more life and disbelief than he had in belief. So inshallah ta'ala, I believe that there'd be a lot of rahmah for those people in those types of situations. I mean, so dinner smelled good. I'm getting distracted by it. Yeah, so he was in a nightclub. He happened to go to a nightclub, and this other rapper happened to be in that nightclub at the same time. As soon as he seen, boom, he take off on him. He start whooping the dude. He tearing him up. And the dude's homeboy pulled out the gun. Bow! Shot him. Like, I think like 5 or 6 people got shot or whatever. And if you see the video, one of King Von's dudes shot him with like a big gun, some type of big gun, shot the dude that shot King Von and like flipped him over. But you can see King Von fighting the dude, and then he gets shot. He's like, you can see it kind of, you can see him get hit, but it didn't look really like devastating. But the guy that shot him, when he got shot, it looked devastating. Dude did like a few backflips. And he was like, oh man, he probably got his whole mix session blew off. But King Von died. The other guy didn't die. And it was like 4 or 5 other people that got shot that night as well. They didn't die. King Von died. All over Namima. All over Namima. He hadn't even had a chance to fully learn his salah, make Hajj with all them millions of dollars that he was making, and get all that life of disbelief wiped out. Well, it was wiped out when he took Shahada, but good to make Hajj. And he didn't get a chance to do none of that because of Namima. This is why we're doing this video. This stuff is relevant. It's not just some stuff in a book 1600 years ago. This is literally life or death. Why you think Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said don't do it, and why it's listed here in the fiqh? So that's an example of why these kinds of things are important to pay attention to. Moving forward, fourth, arrogance, kibr, that's self-explanatory. Vanity, ujub. Let's talk about that for a little bit. Vanity, ujub. The best way that I can explain the word ujub is conceit. I don't like the word vanity. Even though Sheikh Rami is like 7 million times more smart than I am, I don't like that word because we don't use that word. I don't know if that's Sheikh's translation either. I don't want to put that on. I know I am reading from his translation, but I don't know if he translated that word in particular. Don't mean he's wrong. I'm just saying I don't like that word. I don't like the word vanity. It threw me off because we don't use that word. Nobody uses the word vanity. So I had to go through some things to try to figure out what the word vanity meant. What the word ujub. Vanity, is kind of obscure. We don't use that word, so you really wouldn't know what that is if somebody said that to you. Like, your brother, you have too much vanity. Well, I ain't never heard nobody say that to me ever in my life. But what I will say is I would like to translate the word ujub as conceit. We say it all the time. That brother is conceited. That sister is conceited. We know what conceit is, self-conceit. We know what that is. But if you don't know, it's when you believe, like the old folks say, you believe you don't stink. You believe your bathroom don't stink. And you believe that you just made out of something that ain't nobody else made out of. And we got a lot of that nowadays. And it's off-putting. It's a turn-off, both ways, males and female. I see folks, my friends on Facebook, and I apologize to my friends on Facebook, but y'all need to tighten up. Big brother is letting you know, Uncle Ak is letting you know you need to tighten up. I see people post it all the time. I'm different. I guess I'm just different. I can't believe those people wore those clothes at that concert. Well, I guess I'm just different. Y'all, I know y'all have seen the post before. That's subhanAllah. That's ujub. You ain't different. You are not different. You're not. You're not different. Lord have mercy. You're not different. Ain't nobody different. Everybody's the same. Nobody is different. Everybody gets mad. Everybody catches attitudes. Everybody stinks. Everybody has stinky behavior. Everybody is the same. Ain't nobody different than nobody. I don't care what nobody says. Oh, I'm an individual. Oh, I'm not like that. And it's not like that to me. And maybe it meant that to you, but it doesn't mean that to me. No. Yes, it did mean that to you. You the same as anybody else. You get mad. You go to sleep. You have fun times. I have fun times. You do good things. I do good things. You do bad things. I do bad things. We are all the same. We the same. We look different. We sound different. We're different heights, but we are all human. Ain't nobody made out of 24 karat gold. Nobody. There ain't nobody walking on water. Nowadays, if you was to believe the stuff that you see people post on Facebook, you would believe they walk on water. Yeah, I'm different. I'm different. I'm different. No, you're not. And it's haram to have that. And I see Muslims, mostly our sisters, imitating the non-Muslim women when they acting like that. I've seen the posts myself. So I'm saying this to my sisters, the Muslimas. Guard your eyes. Don't be looking at the non-Muslim women, and because they got 487 reactions and 317 shares, that this is what's happening. That ain't what's happening. Remember, at the beginning of this video, it says that we need to love and hate what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and his messenger loved and hated. I don't care how many likes, how many follows, and how many views and shares that it got. You need to stick with the Siddharth al-Mustaqim, because at the end of the day, all that right there is not going to tip the scales. We the one that have the guidance that's going to tip the scales on the day of judgment. They ain't got it. So let's stop imitating them with this type of stuff. Now, I'm assuming y'all have never read this type of material, and particularly not this book in particular, and then, you know, this part of this book. So now you know. If you've seen this video and you watched it, now you know. Stop thinking that you made out of something that ain't nobody else made out of. Sheikh Ismail always says, you know, we're dirt. We're dirt. I remember in one of his khutbahs, I will never forget this. I will never forget this. And I wonder if he remembers this. He, you know, like, alhamdulillah, you know, I don't like you know, I'm not slitting his throat, but, you know, you got to give credit where it's due. You have to, man. You have to. You know, individuals like him are rare. When you, like, sometimes when you sitting in a khutbah and Jum'ah, you know, you be expecting, like, you know, all those big words and big terminologies and some deep mystical imparting of some hadith or whatever. Nah, I remember he said the khutbah, and, you know, he kind of stared for a little bit, like he was bothered. He was bothered by something. I don't know. He never said, but this particular day something was bothering him, and he was like, y'all, we're in love with a bunch of shapes and colors. I tell that story all the time. He was talking about Ferraris and Lamborghinis and this Dooney and Burke bag and this Gucci shirt and sweater and this shoe. What's this? I don't know, all them brands and stuff that y'all worship. I don't know. And I said y'all on that one because I hate that crap. I hate that worship. I hate the worship of that stuff. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. Money can be, you know, you can do a whole lot more with that money and get a whole lot more blessings. It'll serve you a lot better. But that, you know, he was talking about that. You're like, we're in love with shapes and colors. Like, we're worshiping shapes and colors. We're sacrificing the precious time on this planet that we will never get back to worship shapes and colors. A Lamborghini, you're going to pay $400,000 for a Lamborghini. And I know a whole bunch of Muslim prisoners that just came home that don't have a car, that do not have a car. And you go spend $400,000, or people, not Muslims, maybe not Muslims, you go spend $400,000 on a car. It's a shape. Wow, what kind of shape? I don't know. Ask the Wahhabi scholars; they would know. But and then, you know, you get the gold. When, like, I seen this video, Lil Baby, the rapper, he had this, like, this limited edition, like they only made one of them in the whole world, or two or something like that, of a Rolls Royce. And it was like gold and black or whatever. And it's in the video had like 1 million something views in like a day or something crazy. And I was like, what is the big rave about? What is the big deal? Like, it's gold. Like, people never seen gold paint. People never seen black paint. It was like gold and black, but it was like, no, brother, this is the only one of its kind. Okay, when he gets in it, it's going to take him from Richie's to Walmart, and from Walmart to Richie's, and from Richie's back home. What are you talking about? It's a car. It's a car. Like Sheikh said, we worshiping shapes and colors. SubhanAllah. I ain't seen an Islamic video that's worth watching that got 1 million views in a day yet. But Lil Baby, you know, and he didn't even say nothing in the video. It was like the unboxing, or when he first got the car or whatever, he put the video on, and everybody's like, yeah, man, you're doing your thing. Oh, man. What? This is urgent. This is conceit. So getting back on track, going forward. Showing off, riyah. This riyah is not the normal showing off. This ain't like how everybody who follows me know that I'm probably one of the best basketball players that ever walked the planet. So like this ain't that. This ain't when it's a couple brothers outside and we shooting. I'm like, give me that ball. Let me show you how this go, man. Not that. Not that. That's minute. That ain't even in consideration. Riyah is there's a funny story. Sheikh Ayub used to tell this story all the time. This is what riyah is. One time some brothers came into the masjid and I can't remember exactly who. I think it was one of the khulafa. I don't remember who. Somebody high up. And they were like, who's that guy? Like they were having a conversation, and then like the brother was like praying the entire time they was having a conversation. He was like, who's that dude? And they was like, oh, that's such and such Abdullah Muhammad, and he's a good brother. He memorized the Quran. I think this is his second time, reciting the Quran in one qiyam. And they going on and on and on. They're like, oh yeah, oh yeah. They're like, yeah, okay, he's okay. And then the brother says why they talking about him, why he's in prayer, and he's like, oh yeah, and I'm also fasting. If anybody pick up on that. So for y'all for fiqh people, this is fiqh lessons. Why is that story wrong? Let's take a break real quick. If anybody's listening and paying attention. Not you. Not you. You'd have been told all this stuff before. You cheating. I want to see if the people are paying attention. Why is that? Why is that wrong? Did y'all hear the story correctly? Why is that wrong? Anybody, put it in the comments real quick. Why is that wrong? That's the black swag brand. Why is that wrong? True the key. Somebody tell me, why was that brother wrong? So, real quick, y'all. Tell me why that story is wrong. So y'all letting Sister Nala get all the thawab. Say he broke. Who was this? I can't see that. Somebody said the answer. He broke his salah. Oh, that was Farouk. Man, you ain't supposed to answer that question, Farouk. You know it. You know it. Yeah. So, brother Farouk, my big brother, how you doing, Habibi? I miss you, man. We'll be down there coming the first of the month too, man. I'm gonna need some of them. I'm gonna need some of that shoulder, man, and them peppers. Have my peppers ready, Jack. That was pure. Yeah. That was pure. Yeah. So, like the brother said, he broke his salah. You ain't allowed to talk while you making salah. Number one, he broke his khushu'ah. And we're going to get into what khushu'ah is, but basically it's your focus on your prayer. You should be focused on what you're doing in your prayer. And the brothers, Sister Tasha said, because they disturbed his salah while praying, you are not supposed to talk. Right. But his khushu'ah shouldn't have had him in their conversation. Now, ain't none of us so high up. Most of us ain't so high up to where if things are going on around us, then we can't really focus on what is being done and said around us. But you should be able to focus on, okay, this is happening, that's happening, these people over here, whatever, but still know what you got going on in your salah. Knowing what tasbih you on. Are you supposed to make tasbih in this particular time and in this particular moment? What rak'ah are you on? What place do you have in your tilawa? Did you do takbir tahrima? Did all these things should be in your? It should be this is your khushu'ah, keeping all your stuff, keeping the dictates of your prayer in order. And so the brother, he praying, and they going on talking about him, and he said, "Well, I'm fasting too. Why don't y'all talk about that?" So, point being, that's riyah, religious showing off. He was doing that for the people. He wasn't doing it for himself. He wasn't doing it for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala first, and then for himself. He wasn't. So that's what riyah is. It's religious showing off. If you ever Do an act. Now you can do things to show people. That would be dawah, or it would be tabligh. You can do things to show people, like you can recite the Quran in front of people and show people, for encouragement, but you have to set your niyyah the correct way. You have to set your niyyah the correct way. That's what your niyyah has to be. And only you and Allah Ta'ala know what your intention is, your niyyah, know what your intention is. If you recite the Quran in front of some people just to show them, how beautiful your voice is and how good your tajweed is, then that right there would be riyah, and it's haram. And you're not actually getting the benefit for that. You're actually getting a sin. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us all from riyah. Going forward, bragging, sum'ah. That's pretty much self-explanatory. Jealousy, hasad. So jealousy, we got two kinds of jealousy in Islam. You got the good jealousy and bad jealousy. The bad jealousy, which is hasad, is when somebody else has something that you don't have and you do not want them to have it. Good jealousy is when somebody has something you don't have, and you're happy for that person. Like, oh man, dang man, they just got the all red Jordan 5s. Oh, subhanallah, them hard right there. That you don't want that person not to have it. That's the bad. No, that's the good hasad, the good jealousy. The bad hasad, jealousy, is when somebody gets, he's like, oh man, he don't even deserve to have them Jordan 5, them red 5s, man. And dude don't work hard for real, man. And yeah, man, he don't work hard for real. I know, dude, that is haram. Cure your heart from that. And we got a lot of that going on in the community, in the neighborhood. A whole lot of that going on in the neighborhood. Going forward. Bughd, hate. Y'all know what being a hater is. We ain't got to go into that one. It's haram. We listing this stuff. You can't have it. It's haram. Number 10, seeing oneself as being better than others. We kind of went over that. 11, winking and pointing and mockery. Alhamzu wa lamzu. This is like, we see the women. Issa, go upstairs, Issa. Y'all get off the steps. Hamza wa Lamzu. What is this? Sisters, women, y'all gotta watch out. Y'all gotta watch out. Y'all have to watch out, because I see it mostly out of sisters. This ain't, don't get it twisted. This ain't like saying like, oh no, don't nobody do that. That ain't what this is talking about. Hamza and Lamzu is like when the sister doesn't have the best khimar, and you with the other sisters, and they're like, girl, did she this? And y'all cover your mouth, and then you point with your eyes, and they're like, girl, is her hijab hanging halfway off her head? Do she got the drop out hijab? Girls, she didn't have a hijab on the other day. That is haram. Don't do it. I know it's hard, but and it's cultural for us. That it's cultural. That the old ladies be sitting on the porch. They do that. We didn't see our grannies and our aunties doing that. They do that. So it's kind of, it's in you. It's already in you. You've been raised up seeing that. But we Muslim. We're Muslim now. So we don't do that. we ain't doing that. And especially, I've had it complained to me numerous times. My Pakistani and Arab and all the foreign Muslimats. I gotta say this. I have a lot of sisters, the African American sisters, that complain that they get Hamzu and Lamzu when they come to the prayer area. I've been hearing that since I came home from prison. I've been hearing it. Soon as the sisters come in, if they salam you, that's haram. We should be welcoming everybody with open arms. When you see another believer, you should light up. I light up when I see a believer. I light up like, whoa, I'm like, I'm starstruck. People will tell you. Anybody would be out with me and they see Muslim. Wallahi ta'ala. I think my wife know what I'm talking about too. We was driving today and I made a U-turn and it was a gray car and I don't know what business it was, but I was making a U-turn and coming out and there was a sister. I seen a sister, she had full khimar on, and I seen the brother. And wallahi, I like had to stop myself from not screaming salam alaikum out the window. Wallahi ta'ala. Like I didn't want to I didn't want to make them feel weird, so I didn't do it. But that, inside of me, I wanted to be like, hey, salam alaikum, hey, salam alaikum. I wanted to hit them up. That's how we should be when we see each other. Not like, salam alaikum. The brother got them fake Jordans on. Look. He got them fake, he got the Habibis on. That's haram, y'all. Don't do it. Don't do it. Why is it haram? We want everybody to feel welcomed around us. And then we have a lot of people coming into Islam. A lot of people coming into Islam. And when we have that attitude with people coming into Islam or people who was born and raised Muslim left Islam and came back into Islam, people who was born and raised Muslims that just didn't practice, they was lapsed on their practice for a long time, and then once they start coming to the masjid or they come around the brothers and the sisters, this how it is. No, we have character, we have conduct in our character that we have to abide by. Oh, just wait. That we have a conduct in our character that we have to abide by, and it's divine conduct. All this stuff is divine conduct. Going forward, we should not be involved in abath, frivolity. We have a lot of this going on nowadays too. Do not, just to be short, I would like to use the word ghafla. Don't be heedless. Well, no. Let me take that back. That's not the same word. That's not the same thing. It's similar. Abath and ghafla are similar. Frivolity is when you're doing stuff. Ghafla is you ain't doing nothing. So don't get involved in frivolity, things that do not benefit your Islam. We all have a little bit of it. Every one of us have a little bit of that of abath in us. All of us got it. But your life goal, your everyday goal should be to lessen that as much as possible. Keep your time productive. All the way around the board. Fix your niyyah that anything you getting ready to do is for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's message. If you play a game of basketball, when I play a game of basketball, I say Bismillah before I play a game of basketball. Or if I go to work out, I say Bismillah. That way I can get the barakah for my Bismillah. For my workout. I'm getting rewards for my workout. And I fix my niyyah. I want to be strong. Why I want to be strong? I want to keep myself healthy. Being healthy, you remain, attractive. That's good in your marriage. You remain attractive, and I want to be, I ain't gonna hold you. I want to be, I want to be strong enough to get somebody up off of me. I'm gonna keep it all the way real with you, and that's gonna be for the sake of Allah. And if I gotta protect any of the believers, I gotta be able to, get you back up off the believers for a fact. So when I'm working out, I'm strength training. So for that reasons, I say Bismillah. That's what my mind is when I'm working out. I play a game of basketball. I'm gonna keep my heart rate good. I'm gonna keep my blood flowing right. It's exercise. Bismillah before I step on the court. How is this a Bismillah matter? Because I keep my heart rate good, keep my blood flowing efficiently. I can stay alive. Why do I want to stay alive? So I can get as much hasanat as I possibly can. I only want to live so that I can amass as much ibadah as I possibly can with the proper niyyah. So when I go on the day of judgment, that the hasanat is going to be heavy on the scale, and it outweigh, my ma'asiyah. So let's lessen the amount of frivolity that we have in our life, no matter what it is that you're doing. Try to angle it back to serving Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this messenger. Mockery, sukhriya. That's very self-explanatory. But just a sidebar, I got a lot of young brothers that watch me from the street. I come from the street, so that's my family. They're my people. Brothers, young brothers. For example, going back to the hip hop culture nowadays, the ops, and I'm gonna leave it to I'm gonna let the folks explain to the shiuch, any of the shiuch and the aima who see this, what the ops are. The ops mock each other nowadays. You would think that is common sense, but now, like if one of the ops gets shot, the other ops is like, oh, such and such thing got shot. Oh, yeah, the wheelchair. Oh, and they posting it on Facebook and social media. And they getting all these people involved in this stuff. They sharing it back to back to back to back to back to back to back. And now you made that person and those people, that group of people, feel like they got to defend themselves. So they, you making them feel like they weak and that they can be ran over. So now they got to show that they're not weak and that they're not ran over. So they go slide on the ops. They go find where they at and they go shoot everybody else outside. And then they go and make a post and mock that. Oh, such and such is dead. I bet you. Why don't you go? It's a common thing in the hip hop culture. Why don't you go dig your homie up? This is mockery, sukhriya. If they were Muslim, and if they are Muslim, if they're practicing Islam to the best of their ability, they would submit to these types of things. They would submit to these principles, and we won't have that problem. That's an extreme problem. I'm pretty sure some of the doctors and lawyers is looking at this as like, what? Going forward, zina, fornication, and adultery. That's self-explanatory. Looking at the marriageable the female, the ajnabiya. We talked about that before. Deriving pleasure from her voice. This is something we gotta talk about. We are not in Islam. We're not unrealistic. We live in a pluralistic society. Brothers and sisters are going to be talking to each other and dealing with each other, but there are rules and there are regulations. Brothers, if you in public setting, or you got to deal with a sister or a woman for that reason, try not to stare straight into her beauty. Make your best effort, and if you get thoughts, immediately start seeking forgiveness with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Nobody is safe from this. I don't care who you think you are. I even remember my great late Sheikh Ayub, rahimahumullah. I couldn't believe it. I got a human moment with him, and I'm pretty sure my good friends, Nadir, Imam Nadir, and my good brother Abdullah, I know they remember this. Sheikh was Sheikh. He told us that he went to the bank one time, and a woman wasn't dressed, from the waist up properly, and because we was asking him about lowering the gaze and so on and so forth. Alhamdulillah, such a humble person, man. Now mind y'all, I don't know if most people haven't seen a sheikh, like an actual sheikh, like. This is like when I say sheikh, like you can start reading a hadith and he can finish it for you. You can open. I've seen it with my own eyes, wallahi. You can take a Quran. This is not Quran, but you can take a Quran. You can just start reading randomly and then stop, and then he can pick up where you left off at. This is a sheikh. This is the kind of person I'm talking about. I'm talking about from his head. This is the kind of person I'm talking about. Not even he was safe from the beauty of women, and he was married for like 50 years to the same woman. So no scandals, no nothing. He said he went to the bank. He noticed that this woman wasn't dressed appropriately, and we was like, "So what happened, Sheikh?" His Islam kicked in. His training in fiqh kicked in. This principle right here, what we talking about, not looking at the ajnabiyya, the marriageable woman, and not deriving pleasure from her voice. He said he grabbed a random piece of paper and started writing on it. We was like, what was you writing? He was like, nothing. I was just scribbling on the paper, not looking at her, ignoring her. I heard her give her my money. Okay, thank you. And he walked out. So, wallahi ta'ala, he told us that story. So we gotta be like this. We gotta go out. We gotta do our best, brothers, and to respect the sisters. We gotta do our best to kind of curb this stuff. It's dangerous. It's very dangerous, and it gets very ugly. It gets very messy. So do your best. Do your best, and I'm talking to myself first. Do your best. If your sister talking to you and you dealing with her or whatnot, you got to be doing everything that you can to make sure that you do not fall into being mesmerized by her beauty and her voice, uh, all of that. I've been in public settings with my shuyukh. We did a very nice program in Detroit, alhamdulillah, and it was a beautiful program. And afterwards, people came up and spoke to us and talked to us and whatnot. And like three sisters like bum rushed me. Wallahi, like three sisters bum rushed me, and alhamdulillah, they were beautiful too. No doubt about it, they were beautiful. But my foot kicked in. I looked down the ground. And I was listening to them talk. I kept it short, kept it straight to the point. And the matters that they were talking about, they were relating because their husbands or ex and their husbands and one ex-husband had been to prison, and they were asking for some advice, in my experience on, how should they deal with these things and so on and so forth. And I was like, hey, here's my wife's number. Y'all can communicate. I do that a lot of times, like, because people see I do the videos and stuff, and sisters hit me up all the time. Like, they be in remote areas, all in Montana somewhere. Like, oh, alhamdulillah, I seen your video. Salam alaikum. What book is that? Boom, 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 boom. I even pressed my wife hard to start learning so that just to protect myself from that. She got a sisters group and the whole now. Oh, speaking of, I gotta close this up because they group it's getting ready to start in 7 minutes. So yeah, you want to be careful. I started, I give them her number, and she learned this stuff, alhamdulillah, and what she don't know, she bring to me. When that's just being careful. That's you got to be careful. That's this principle. I learned this, and you put it in practice. That's this principle right here. Going forward, consuming the wealth of people without their contentment. This is a thing that we have a problem with in this society. I get random people all the time that inbox me and ask me for money. That's what this means, without the approval. Somebody might not really have it, or that they just a given person and you really don't need it, and you hit them up and they like, okay, and you see the person really kind of reluctant, and you can kind of tell, but the person give it to you anyway. That's haram. Don't press nobody. And we shouldn't even really be begging. And if you need help, go to trusted people. Don't just be randomly hitting people up on Facebook asking for money and all that stuff. That's not permissible. 18, gaining income through intercession for or from the religion or with the religion should be a no-brainer. I don't know any Muslims who deal with this stuff, intercession or whatever, or readings. I know a lot of non-Muslims who do these readings. It's complete and total buffoonery. No offense to anybody, but ain't no way in the world you doing no reading for me, and ain't no way in the world you're gonna give me. I'm gonna give you some money. My wife she got a friend she went to high school with. I couldn't believe my eyes. This woman was doing readings on Facebook, and it was going viral. Like, she was reading the comments, and she posted her Cash App up in the comments, and the link pinned it in the link, and you can send her some money, and instantly she give you a reading. It was funny to me because it don't seem like the people who didn't pay didn't get a reading. So that's haram. And also that goes in that category as horoscopes. Sisters. I'm beating up on the sisters today. I don't know too many brothers that be like, what sign are you? I know sisters that always beat down signs or zodiac, and I'm a Gemini season. Intercession. Haram. Don't do it. The horoscopes is not fun and games. It's shirk. It's paganism. Don't do it. You are who you are, no matter what that mystical quote said. And there's no star and no moon that dictates anything, or no time of the earth, or no time in history that dictates what's going to happen and how you're going to be and when you were born. It's complete buffoonery. It's fun and games, but it's rocks and stones in the hellfire. Lastly, delaying the prayer beyond its proper times. Big prayer, big fitna for everybody. We're gonna get into the prayer times, so I ain't gonna elaborate on that here. We gotta close up. I guess we can pick back up. I didn't leave any time for questions and comments. We didn't pick back up. It's one last part, and we'll pick that up next week, inshallah ta'ala. Let me make sure there's no comments I have to respond to. وإياكم أختي زكريا. Uh-oh. Alhamdulillah. Jazakumullah khaira, Ukhti Zakaria, for your participation. Dropping them bombs in them comments. Alhamdulillah. I don't see none of the brothers comment. Are y'all doing boogers? Are y'all doing hate? I don't see none of the brothers be commenting. What's going on? Mujib get on here, our brother and participator in the platform, Abdul Mujib. He'll get in here. He be in the comments. Abu Muhammad, he comment. Khalil, he comment. But all any of the other brothers that be on, man, y'all be letting the sisters take it over and then be wondering why the sisters is running the household, allegedly. Here comes and said being weird, yeah. Yeah. That stuff could get weird when you're dealing with Muslims, Muslim brothers. Huh? Oh, she said, Nala said that she talking about the sisters that's not salaming when they, when you come to Jumu'ah and stuff and embrace them. Yeah, that stuff ain't cool, man. It's actually a big problem, man. It's a big problem. Okay, so what's the name of the group? Okay, so Sister Nyla is doing her Clubhouse. They have a sisters only group on Clubhouse. It's called, what is it? Our Souls Desire Islam. What's that one? What is that one? Okay, and they're doing a live reading on the book that our Sheikh sent them, called The Women Around the Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam. It's actually happening right now. The link is pinned in the feature. So if y'all sisters and y'all want to join that group, she got a good thing going on with the sisters, gathering the sisters together. Tomorrow they have a show where they all tell their personal stories and kind of relate. The sisters get pushed off with the dawah, they get smothered with the dawah and videos, because it ain't really good for sisters to be going live, and brothers be all in comments like, mashallah, sister, your tajweed is beautiful, sister, alhamdulillah. So she got the Clubhouse, it ain't live, they still kind of in the subtle and stuff, it's really, 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 really good. And it's sisters only, so it's a very safe space. It's a safe space. The link is pinned in the features on the group, the Facebook group, inshallah ta'ala. So if y'all leave questions, I'll get the notifications, and then we'll go and we'll get the questions answered beforehand, or we'll deal with it at the beginning of the next show. I appreciate all of y'all tuning in. If I say anything wrong, it does not belong to me or Islam or the Prophet Islam, Allah or the Quran. It belongs to my own ignorance. I love y'all for the sake of Allah. We gotta go. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله ولا إله إلا الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.